what looked amazing in the ads, but turned out to be useless after you bought it. Showing my age here. One Christmas when I was a kid I was dying to get the electronic football game. Opened up my presents and there it was. Got it set up and plugged it in and the bastards just vibrated all over the place and fell over. That's first down. Set up all 22 players again for second down. Rattle hum hum splat. Same thing. You can see where this is going. Never played the damn thing again. So, I have an odd relationship with electronic football. While listening to an autobiography audiobook, the Thunderbolt Kid, the subject of this game, was mentioned by the author as being just as disappointing as it sounds. My dad offhandedly mentions that one of my uncles absolutely loved electronic football. Fast forward 2 years, and what do I happen to find in an antique shop? A still functional electronic football field to complete teams, Rams vs Raiders, the leftover stuff that used to hold the foam footballs, and one of the 2 tin goalposts. So what do? I buy the whole shebang, refurbish the playing field, mainly polishing the crap out of it with silver polish compound and touch up where the paint was missing. Craft a new field goal out of styrene and repainted both of them. Make a new football out of the scrap foam material and repainted the Rams into the Tennessee Volunteers, as that's my uncle's favorite team. Sure, it was a college team going up against the Oakland Raiders, but given one of the Raiders was missing an arm, it wasn't like realism was the objective here. My grandparents hauled the refurbished set down to my uncle as his secret Santa gift from me and my dad. He helped, and I'm told the reaction was magical. The next year my uncle wanted me to repaint the Raiders into another college team. The end result was black/gold, so I think it was Purdue. Regardless, there is now a custom electronic football set taking the place of honor in my uncle's bank executive office. He tells me that sometimes he'll even get a client who wants to see it set up like it was intended, because electronic football is so infamously bad, and my uncle is only too happy to oblige. I picked these up for my son years ago, and I swear he got 2 out, tried to stick them together, twisted them, screwed them into something resembling a twine ball and walked away. The whole box sat in the end cupboard looking unopened for about 6 years, and every year I went to get the Christmas decorations out I'd see them and think, what the bloody hell are those? I'd remember, shrug and leave them be for another year, LMAO. When I was 8 I loved Roblox. I begged my parents every day to buy me Robux as I had seen ads for it and YouTube videos of people loving Robux and that you'd be seen as cool if you buy Robux. Yes, I know, but I was 8 lol. Finally, for my birthday, when I turned 9, I got a few Robux gift cards, about 22,000 Robux. Something from $50 to $80 I think, not sure, long time ago, since I played Roblox. I was so happy, but after literally like 2 days I quit Roblox, since I was bored. I was really disappointed at how the Robux went. I thought every girl in Roblox would be with me after I bought multiple useless Roblox items. I forgot the account name and password, but I think I only used like 1k Robux and honestly it was useless. I also remember that I think I tried sending an email with the help of my parents about getting a refund, because I literally thought I was scammed. Point lol. Additional info. I never got a girlfriend in Roblox. Didn't get one in real life either. When I was like 6 or so there was a commercial for Transformers underwear that came out just before Christmas where the kids wearing them could transform. They were the only thing that I asked for Christmas that year. I forget what my parents/Santa got me, but I distinctly remember being disappointed that it wasn't Transformers underwear. Later that day my grandparents showed up, and when I opened the Transformers underwear they got me, it was by far the most excited I have ever, or will ever be in my life. I went to the bathroom and put them on, then went back into the living room and proceeded to try to transform in front of my family while they laughed at me. I remember my grandfather joking, maybe you need to plug them in first. That is easily the most let down I have ever been by a commercial. Grandpad. Bought one for my tech illiterate mom-in-law for Christmas. Spent 3 days trying to set it up with tech support before admitting it was a piece of $200 crap. Ended up returning it and customizing an older Android tablet for her. Made it so she couldn't install or buy anything without a password. Hit all the system controls, so you can't find them without search. Then hit search. Installed only the few apps she needed, and hid and disabled the rest. Made it so I could remotely update and change things from my iPad. Installed a better keyboard for her eyes and we were good to go. Her favorite apps are Bingo and YouTube where she watches nature videos all day. She has a radio installed, and an app for local news. Close bracket. Old people don't like products aimed at old people, because they make them feel old and incapable. Old people just want something they can use. It's a fine line, but it can make all the difference in the success of a product. It's like how the Dodge Magnum was marketed as a vehicle for middle-aged dads who need some fun in their lives. That may have indeed been their target audience, but they were too blatant about it. Now whenever I see someone driving a Dodge Magnum, I just imagine the driver is a lame dad who never has any fun. Not the best image for a product. Subaru got it right. They didn't specifically target lesbians, but the marketing they did resonated with a lot of lesbians nonetheless. The same should apply to things like tablets. Make one that old people would want to use, but don't market it as a tablet for old people. Wear OS Watch. Google Assistant. It's quicker to get your phone out of your pocket, enter your PIN, look for the Google Assistant app, and ask the question. Music. The Google Play Music app is so slow that it takes forever to pick a song. Maps. Thought it would be cool for navigating while on a bike. Took a wrong turn. Google was like, alright, I'll just close the app. 10 minutes later I noticed it wasn't giving me any instructions anymore. Tiles. Finally some really cool feature that could be useful. Google. Oh, I reset all your tiles, so you need to add them all again. Activity tracking. Yeah, BTW. I know the timer is running, but I have no clue how many kilometers/miles you have ran. Happened with Nike Plus, Strava and some other running apps. Smart reply. Hey, your mum passed away. Google reply. Haha, lol, bye. Google Keep. Syncing notes and the time it's syncing notes I have already opened up my phone. On the bright side, I can view messages, weather, time, set a timer from tiles, if they are there. Sea monkeys. I was expecting some naked underwater mermen that I could control with food and force them to do weird sex acts with each other. The thing is, they spend most of their time sitting around and complaining about the Democrats and women. I was like, monkeys, you aren't going to get laid if you spend your time complaining about women having reproductive freedom and greater representation in the workforce. They started calling me a libtard one day, so I picked them up out of their aquarium and flushed them down the toilet. I find axolotls a lot more progressive in their political views, and learning Spanish from them is obviously a bonus. Banjo minnow. I'm a fisherman, and I'm a tackle junkie. When I was about 15, my grandpa and I were watching TV and the ads for the banjo minnow came on TV, going on and on about the lifelike action of the bait, and how it imitated a dying shad or minnow falling down in the water column, and how this action could trigger an instinctive bite from base, making it almost a certainty that you'd catch fish if you used that lure. It had an admittedly decent system for changing the weights out, and changing baits to the rise had a lead, and were in a plastic housing that allowed you to pop it on and off a hook quite quickly. But I never managed to actually get a bite on the damn things. Come to find out, almost any, far cheaper, soft plastic fluke works the same way, minus the easy change out system. That said, the dying shad action does work, just didn't seem to work like the banjo minnow dude advertised. I'm a fisherman, and I'm a tackle junkie. When I was about 15, my grandpa and I were watching TV and the ads for the banjo minnow came on TV, going on and on about the lifelike action of the bait, and how it imitated a dying shad or minnow falling down in the water column, and how this action could trigger an instinctive bite from base, making it almost a certainty that you'd catch fish if you used that lure. It had an admittedly decent system for changing the weights out, and changing baits to the rise had a lead, and were in a plastic housing that allowed you to pop it on and off a hook quite quickly. But I never managed to actually get a bite on the damn things. Come to find out, almost any, far cheaper, soft plastic fluke works the same way, minus the easy change out system. That said, the dying shad action does work, just didn't seem to work like the banjo minnow dude advertised. I used to work in a Catholic church office, and it's very interesting. Firstly, Come tax time I would get a lot of people wanting their records of how much they've donated, or they'd donate a very specific amount, for tax deductions. Secondly, the physical church, where you go, has to pay the diocese's rent, basically, plus a certain percent in tithing. If they cannot, they close the church. All that tithing money goes to the diocese, which decides who does what with it. Oh wait, did I mention that nuns don't really get paid well and have to save for a haircut, and that priests have a clothing and car allowance? Don't get me wrong, the church is feeding the poor and hungry and providing programs for immigrants. However, I know the upper church leaders aren't doing without, if you know what I mean. They could do more good if they skipped the fancy things. If you want the real deal on what's being spent, I suggest you get on the church's board and see the actual numbers yourself.